Once more forward into the past. So much to say and none of it matters. Nobody should marry young. Guys should never marry young. There, I repeated something my father could have said, possibly said, wish he'd said louder more often. Right, as if I would have listened, but who knows? Experience is something you don't get until just after you need it. And the paradox is this: conditioning by life's experiences makes you wonder about the path not taken, even though you know you're happier than you could have ever been had you gone where pushed, college and a profession. But still going against the crowd has always felt wrong, even while powerless to stop or consider stopping. Herd mentality. With diligence and perseverance and the will to change, your programming can be reset. Simply refusing to conform won't do. To have it take and stay something has to be there that simply cannot be denied. When you try to follow the path others have picked and planned for you, and you become angry, confused, despondent, be certain of your new path. Once you decide, remember there is no going back if it gets hard. And it will get hard. The results are worth it. Be good at what you are good at, then working to get better at what you were good at won't seem like work. Follow me for more timely tips. Call your mom. Hormone High School, North Muskegon, Michigan, minus 1,959. Between classes, the real action was in the halls. Passing ships in single file, pairs staying close in clusters, bright eyes alert. Loud after enforced seated silence, energy to burn and living in the Mike Whitney moment, walking Sherry to plain geometry. She was red-haired and shorter than gangling me by only an inch. I did not really try to unhook her bra, but comedy lived in my head, and as the coming years were to prove, in my pants, right through her blouse and cardigan sweater. I was handy at all the wrong skills. Hers was a three-hooker, too. A little squeeze and the girls are out, surprising us both mightily back there in the allegedly dull 1950s. Sherry shot me an angry, embarrassed look and pulled her books up in front of her. The bell rang. Later I would pay, oh yeah, big time. Tie me to a tree, make me write bad checks. Redheads, chauvinists, a non-starter, a no-brainer, and cursed with good hormones, fast reflexes, and a startling lack of boundaries. Once in love with Amy. Not that Amy, the Amy with whom you keep falling in and out of love. The pure Prairie League song, written by then 17-year-old Craig Fuller and recorded years later with his Cincinnati band mates, has never gone off the radio. XM, Sirius. In 1971, I was a beginning believer in the dream, but old enough to be 10% realistic, so going to New York or California was out. Nashville was emerging as a market for songwriters, but not for me at this time. I had only a few songs worthy of the name. A friend who knew Craig as a boy introduced us, and by that I mean we went to his place overlooking the Ohio River in downtown Cincinnati one fine spring day before I left for Denver in '72. We exchanged a few pleasantries, and probably to stop me raving about Amy, Craig picked up his Martin, sat on the couch and said, "What do you want to sing? 10 Degrees and Getting Colder?" A Gordon Lightfoot song I had recently learned, and he strummed a chord and started singing it almost at once in that unique, high, lonesome voice. I had been a church choir singer at 11 and 12, so a harmony fell out of me quite easily, and we did the whole song. I don't believe to this day that I ever sang better harmony, especially off the top of my head. We finished the tune, even holding the last note and stopping together. It was clear as a bell I was with a great talent. After a moment, he said, "Well, I think we got that one down. The rest is foggy, but only because I was so elated at such a rare chance to perform with a role model. As for Amy, it might be time to finally learn that classic. Nice thing about popular song, good ones don't get forgotten, they get better. Last words. It is easier to stay out than get out. Mark Twain, acquaintance N. A person whom we know well enough to borrow from, but not well enough to lend to. Ambrose Bierce, if you stay in Beverly Hills too long, you become a Mercedes. Robert Redford, Mike and borderline behavior at Mel's Place next to Epic at 5:30 p.m. Friday, January 31. Let's celebrate the end of January. Some radio ads starting in February. Details to follow.